Hello, everyone, and welcome. We are going to share, or I'm going to share a screen with you guys, and then we're going to be going through this, and hopefully we can do this quickly because I know that everybody has their meet the parents night tonight. So we'll try and get through the information as quickly as we can for everyone. So hold on and I'll share our screen with you and then we'll get this started. Looks like we've got a couple of minutes though, so I'll give everybody a chance to get signed on here. Okay, do you know who's the host of this? Because it's not letting me share a screen. Is it letting any of you guys share your screen?
No, it's not letting me share mine either.
Because I thought she was supposed to put us in here as co-host. Okay.
It looks like Angela.
Yeah, I say it looks like I think I am. I don't know why. So hang on here. Let me.
If you make me co-host, then I can pull it up there.
It shows that Alicia's co-host.
You can have multiple co-hosts.
Sorry, it was taking me a minute to get logged in today. I had to try it several
Hang on here.
And let's see, I can add you.
It's not letting me even make you a co-host.
That's what I'm not seeing the option either.
Yeah.
Chat or rename or put in the video.
I just got a text from Robin that says she needs to be taken off as the co-host. So but I don't see her as an option as the co-host. So
I don't either, and I don't know why it's not letting me.
Sorry, guys. This is always new.
Yeah. Shouldn't be this hard.
No, it shouldn't.
Angela, if you'll go down at the bottom, there should be a security feature. And if you click on that security at the bottom, it'll say enable, allow share screen, and that would let anybody share the screen. You can do it that way too.
Okay, I just clicked on allow participants to share screen.
Okay, so now we should be able to share. Well, nope, it still says it's disabled.
Trying it
Oh,
again.
there it goes. It's letting me now. It's letting me now. Okay, I got it.
Okay.
Sorry
good.
about that, guys. And so we'll get this going. Okay, can everybody see my screen now?
We got it.
All right, fantastic. I'll just open this up in present mode so you guys can see a bigger screen. Welcome to our training. I have Jana, myself, Sammy, Alicia, and Megan, and Angie on here to help with questions. And we will go through this presentation for you guys. Okay, of course, we start out with our learning intentions, and it says our learning intention is today we are learning about the video teacher planning template and how to use it to plan instruction. Our success criteria is you will be successful when you can locate the document for use and make a copy for yourself, use the video template to locate videos and materials for all subjects, determine next steps to plan instruction for the school year. Of course, our PD norms. So I'll let you guys, we'll go over that real quickly. Arrive early and come prepared. Silence your cell phone. If you must answer a call, mute your microphone. Stay on task and discontinue side conversations. When addressing the group, speak slowly and clearly. Actively listen to others and be respectful of others. Keep your camera on while in Zoom and keep your microphone muted unless you are speaking. Okay, and the only thing that we're going to ask so we can get through this quickly, Angela and Megan are going to monitor the chat for us. So if you have questions, if you can post them in the chat, they will try and make sure that we get those answered for you. So now we are going to take you into the planning guide, and how you're going to get to your planning guide is through the Topeka Public Schools website. You're going to click on TPS Remote Learning, then click on First Grade, and then click on the planning guide for teachers. And in there, when you see that planning guide, be sure that you make a copy and save it to your drive. That way you can take it back with your team, your first grade team, and you can add things to it that you might use for your team only. Okay, and then just to go ahead and show you where that is and what that looks like. If you come out to the Topeka Public website, you're going to go down here where it says TPS Remote Learning. Click on that. Up here, you'll see for first grade, click on first grade, and it's going to take you to the planning guide. And then from here, you're also going to have some tabs across the bottom that will take you into each one of the different subjects. So I've got math, reading, CR success, social studies, and science. And now I'm going to hand this over to Alicia, and she is going to go over math for you.
Thanks so much, Ann Lee. Okay, so going over math, we'll talk a little bit about the tabs that you can see at the very top. Erin, Sharon, and I were working on the math videos throughout the summer. She unfortunately is no longer a part of the first grade team as she moved up to third grade. So the videos, you'll see half mine and half of hers, and then after these 6 weeks, like we said yesterday, that we'll plan on just using the ones from In Sync. So going across the top, you can see where it says the date, and those should be aligned across the district now. So that's kind of exciting. That we'll be hopefully more on the same page there. Across the top there, next to the date, you can see it says video teacher plans, lesson numbers, standard, learning intention, and success criteria. So that houses those things. It's pretty straightforward, but we did go ahead and create those for every subject for you so that you can have, you know, the similar ones. They did say that if you choose to make your own, that is an option for teachers that you can add. If you want to clarify things or word things a little bit differently, you know, we have the same curriculum, so you do have that leeway. Next to the video teacher plans and lesson plans, it says suggested teacher duties. These, we just really changed the vocabulary for you based on the lesson number, but the rest of it was pretty copy and paste, like check for understanding from the lesson video, reteach if needed, assign an activity, exit ticket through Seesaw. I did only do the first 5 because I thought that there would be more engaging ways to create Seesaw activities from what we did in the spring, where it was pretty much just the worksheets and students were manipulating the worksheets through Seesaw. And then I found that some teachers already have some other exciting things that they're doing with that. So like Pear Deck, slides, in with those, and Ann Lee mentioned that starting off something very basic. So I think just repeating what we did in the spring would be a little bit more familiar for them, a little bit easier for them to manipulate. But as we get going, as you get some more of those ideas and you feel more comfortable with Seesaw, then adding some of those more engaging, optional other types of activities would be really good. So next to suggested teacher duties, it's got the video link. Next to that, there are English language learner videos. They've been working really hard on those. So I know that they're feeling a little bit swamped as far as the amount of time that it takes to make those. And I think that she was starting with, Megan, are you on here? Okay, I didn't know if you want to speak.
Yeah, I haven't done anything for math yet, and I'm not sure that I'm going to. I've got about 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks of the ELA. So we'll see, since there's only so many EL teachers that are on here. It's kind of overwhelming to do the math, the reading, the CR for Success Social Studies and Science videos.
Of course.
So we're starting with ELA to begin with, and we'll see what we can do as the year progresses. But we're trying to churn them out as fast as we can. So
I understand, and it helps that NSYNC has that translation feature. So if you want to download those pages so that they would have the instructions in Spanish, that's definitely an option for you now too. Next,
Alicia, I'm going to interrupt for just a second. This is Diane Kimsey. I just want to say thank you to the team. This is an incredible group of ladies, and it's been my honor to work with them this summer. And some of them I got to work with since, well, I've been working with them since March. So an incredible group of ladies, and I just want to publicly thank them in front of all the first grade squad. So thank you, team, and holler if we can help in any way. And thank you so much.
No, thank you, Diane.
Oh, thank you. Seriously.
All right, so we're gonna keep rocking and rolling across the top there. So next to ELL videos, we've got optional assignments for the scholars. I wasn't sure, like I said, how it was gonna pan out. So I went ahead, I made those first 5 Seesaw activities. It's got the lesson video, you know, the link for us right next to it. It's the same one, linked for the students so that they can see the video and then complete the activity, both for the problem set and for the exit ticket. So you would want to assign them both through your Seesaw. You would have to go in, and there's the 3 little dots at the bottom on Seesaw that you would click to copy and edit to assign them yourselves and push them out, just like what we did in the spring. And then if you are not choosing to use those, if you're choosing to make your own, I went ahead and I linked the PDFs, both for the problem set and the exit ticket, to make it a little bit easier for you there too. Next to that optional assignment, and they wanted us to reiterate that if you want to make your own, of course, you're more than able to. We encourage you, make your own, work with your team, make them more engaging however you want to, incorporate your own ideas there. At the top, it says suggested technology integration. There's lots of different technology platforms out there, and you'll see these kind of repeated on each of the different pages. It's more just a reminder for you. So if you're feeling stuck or in a rut or something, then you can try out something new as they feel more comfortable. I would not start out, like Diane said earlier, don't start out with a Flipgrid first week of school. They need to get familiar just with the very basics of Seesaw. Go slow and then incorporate some different ideas as you go on. Next, it says optional teacher ideas, and I think this may have been some virtual, yep. I had Kara Bowles, she's new to our team at Randolph this year, but she gave us some virtual classroom ideas. Do you want to talk about it, Kara?
Sure. So one of the things you're talking about the engagement stuff, right?
Where it says optional teacher ideas, I linked the virtual classrooms that you sent us.
Oh yeah, so it was the first grade creative. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, she's got really great things.
Yeah, so it's basically a lady that I found in a Facebook group. She has, I believe, pre-K or kindergarten first and second, I think. But she has everything you could ever want for Google on there. And I believe that she's even working on putting them into Seesaw as well, is the post that I saw recently. So that would be really exciting, because she spent so much time on all of these. Mm-hmm. And all you have to do is just go in and change your Bitmoji, or like not if you don't want to, but you know, it's up to you.
Yeah, no, thank you so much, Kara. I wanted to share them because she's sharing them for free, like out of the goodness of her heart. And she's all about using Seesaw because it is a free platform. Like, she's mad at the people who are trying to sell her things on TPT. She wants us to all have it for free. And so you can pretty much find any standard or topic that you would be looking for. And that's pretty much all that I put in that optional teacher ideas, because you'll click one and it will have 10 different activities or something like that. Of course, you can always add your own, and that's what they'll be looking for in your individual lesson plans for different schools, that you would just add what you're changing or what your kind of spin is to the different things that we've got here. I did go through the lessons for us to put suggested materials, and these are for the curriculum, the hard copy. You know, this summer I didn't have in sync, and so I'm hoping that their videos have the same materials and they're doing the same things that were in the hardback book that we have. I have not gone through to check and make sure that they are all exactly the same. So just know that if you switch over, you want to check the materials that you have everything that you need. And then
They were wondering if you could click on the link just to show them a little bit in the chat room. They were wanting to see a little bit of that.
Yeah. And
if you want to
click it, or
somebody.
I can't hear you, Anley.
Sorry. Where did you want me to go to? I'm sorry.
Where it says optional teacher ideas.
Uh-huh.
Just click underneath the, so that says optional assignment. Move your mouse over. Yep. Over a little.
Right here.
That one, yep.
And then you want me to click on that and go to that, or?
Sure.
Okay.
So you can see she's got classroom after classroom with tons of great math ideas.
And everything over in the corner, like that bottom left side, are like manipulative links that you can click on as well in order to do math problems.
That's awesome. Okay, I think that covers it for math. Are there questions about the topics across the top? Like, we know synchronous versus asynchronous. Synchronous is you're doing it at the same time with them, like on your Zoom session, and then asynchronous is when you're not with them in person. So like what you're doing on Seesaw, where they're independently working. Making sure I went through all the definitions I needed to. We got them. Okay, we're ready for reading.
Before we get started, they had a question that is this only provided up for the first 6 weeks mark as well as the videos? And I think that's something that's going to be discussed later. Is that what I'm hearing, that we're going to be having a meeting next week with Billy? Is that correct, ladies?
Yes, I believe so.
So we will have the first 6 weeks provided, and we have more information coming down from the top as of next week. So I think it's to be announced at a later date.
Okay, Sammy, did you want to share on this, and I'll be your driver?
Yep, that will work. Okay, so Ann-Lee and I have been kind of tag teaming ELA and social studies together. So, and we were at first incorporating some of the social studies standards in with the ELA. And then we since found out that they are supposed to be separated because we have rotating for science and social studies each week. So for ELA, we'll just start from the left. We have, same as math, the lesson number, the standards, the learning intention success criteria. For suggested teacher duties, we just kind of went through the ReadyGen teacher guides, so we could add in the close read discussion questions, the vocabulary, the by the way words, and then Ann-Lee worked on creating some journal writing activities. So the next one over, we have our required video, and we'll be switching off. You'll see me for a week, and then Ann-Lee for a week, and then back to me. The English language learner videos, like Megan said, she has been working on those. So some of those are in there already. Megan, did you want to talk about what you were putting in the ELA ones?
Yeah, most of mine are they're piggybacking on ReadyGen, and I'm focusing mostly on vocabulary and giving lots of examples of the vocabulary words and the by the way words, and then also trying to focus on story structure, like setting the characters and things like that from Stella Luna and Frog and Toad in the beginning, and mostly doing a lot of visuals and working on vocab development for the EL kids. So that's kind of me. That's what we do.
Thank you, Megan.
Mm-hmm.
For the optional assignment for Scholar, in each of our videos, after we read the story or the pages for the day, we talked about the close read discussion questions, and for each video we say, you know, right before we ask the questions, if you want to grab a piece of paper and a pencil to write down the answers to these questions, you can do that. So we have the close read discussion questions that if you're in your ELA Zoom and that's something you want to talk about, that's an option for you to use. Ann Lee, the Seesaw Queen, has created a bunch of ELA lessons and also the journal writing activities. Ann Lee, I had like the first lesson activities pulled up on my laptop. I don't know if you want to try to pull them up and show them what you did.
Sure. I can show you guys. There's two different links here for the Seesaw activities because I tried to create one that would be the Seesaw activity that just went with a lesson. So that's tied into your discussion questions. And then I created a separate one for the journal writing activity. So you can use this for your journal writing. If you want to, you can create your own. These are aligned with what is for our writing in ReadyGen. We also tied in, Sam and I did a by the way word. Once in a while, we try to do that at least once a week to drill down on how to use that word and stuff. So they're going to be fun for your kids. I'll give you an idea what these look like. If you click on them, it'll bring you to the activity. Like this is the first activity we have for ReadyGen. It repeats what their learning intention are, what their success criteria is. It gives them directions how to do it. It also gives you teacher notes over here where I got the information and where I found that, so you can look in and see how it follows in the book. The lesson itself is attached to each one of these ELAs, so it does have the lesson there. So if you wanted to push this out and have them watch the video from their Seesaw, they can. Then it has the activity. Bring this, and I'll just think this will let me, well, let me see, maybe it won't. But if you click on the activity, like I did, I tried to make them easy and user-friendly for our kids because I know that these aren't going to be very easy when they first come in there. I did put in there little things that they can click on to listen to each one of those things that are in there. So there's directions, so they'll be able to click and listen, and it'll read the passage to them. There's places where I asked them to read with me. There's some activities that I did that asked them to go out and see where they found the information. So I tried to make it as user-friendly as possible and tried to make it simple for these kids. And then let me take you back and I'll show you kind of what the journal writing activities that I did for these. It's going to open up and they're actually going to have a composition journal. So it's going to look just like they would in class. And if they click on this, it'll give them directions, what they're doing that day for their journal writing activity. Each one of these tabs that are on that journal writing, they'll be able to click through and it'll give them a different thing to do. And I tell them what to do in the directions. Again, I'm going to give them learning intentions and tell them how they're going to be successful, then give them the directions down here. And I give them a quick reminder of what this lesson is really telling them about and how to be good writers. Then plus when they click on these, it'll take them to each one of those things. So I tried to make these as user-friendly as possible and so that the littles would have some fun with it. I do the activity and I did it with a mouse. So I'm just going to tell you my writing in there is going to look like a first grader's writing. And my drawings too. So please don't be too critical of my drawings because I'm drawing with a mouse, but I'm trying to teach the kids how to do it too. And in these activities, I do go through and try and explain tools to the kids so they'll know what kind of tools we're using and stuff like that. The only thing I'm going to say is if you guys decide to do your own seesaw activities, just be mindful of your kids and don't give them a whole bunch of stuff all at once. I usually try to pick one tool and get them really used to that tool and then add on other tools as we go. And you'll be surprised at how amazing these babies will be once you get them going with this stuff. That's all I got to say about that.
And Lee, can I jump in for just a moment?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I just wanted to publicly in front of your peers, just say what an amazing job your peers have done on this work for the spreadsheet, for the videos, for the English for the English language learners, for the optional assignments. They have done an amazing work this summer, and hopefully you will find this an easy to navigate tool. As they continue to work on it, it will be added. They're going to show you where it is linked on the remote learning website, so you'll easily find it. But just wanted to tell you how proud I am of your ELA, your math, social studies, and science teams and their work.
Thank you, Robin.
All right, I'm going to hop off. So ladies, if there's anything you need, just reach out.
Okay, so Anley, thank you for all your work on those seesaw activities. They are amazing. For suggested technology integration, just like for math, we have them all listed, but do not feel like you have to use all those. They're just for if you would like to create your own. Then we have suggested materials. So each day for the ELA lessons, pencil, paper, writing journal, those are all things they should be getting in their kits. And then the asynchronous, again, back to seesaw. I think that's all I have for ELA. Does anyone have any questions? If not, we will go ahead and move along.
Okay, for the CR Success section, we have gone ahead and started the year with the very first unit, which mainly just talks about how to take care of the folders. Of course, that is something that they're not going to be using for the first 6 weeks of school, but we talk about them anyway. Also in the actual videos for every unit, so we've done 6 units so far. For every unit, we tried to copy what the student folder lesson would look like. So every single lesson there will be, it will start just normally like you do for CR Success now. You're going to have your anchor chart that it's going to review with the concept for that particular unit. There's a section that will include the tricky words for each unit as well. And then we go into the actual folder lessons and what each of those symbols mean. So for the purpose, and there will be the learning intentions at the beginning and at the end, plus the learning intentions and the success criteria at the beginning, and then at the end we go over those learning intentions again. So that we will talk about the purpose, the different sounds that the students make, the script. I did this with Jana Abernathy, and it's a little bit tricky to try to do CR Success without the actual folders. So we really tried to pull in things that enforce the concept for that particular unit. All of the teacher script that's in the blue sheet section of the concept book, we discussed which each unit. And then also I would recommend this. We talk about it some. With the kindergarten kits, they received the sound action chart. And just to kind of show you that chart, I don't know if you can see it, but it looks a little like this, and it actually shows the actions for each letter. And we thought that as in first grade, especially this year, because a lot of our students didn't get our kindergartners didn't get a whole year of CR success. So they are not going to be fluent with a lot of their sounds. So it would be a good idea to get a copy of those charts and actually go over the actions and the sounds for each letter. So that's what we talk about basically for the lessons. Then for each suggested teacher duties, there's the check for understanding and assign activities. Now that was something we never got to we never actually got to create the seesaw activities for these lessons. And Lee helped us at the end of last year in the spring, and she created some wonderful lessons to support CR success, but we just didn't have as that much help this summer, and she was kind of pulled in some other areas, and so that was something that has not been developed yet. But what we did find is if you actually go out into Seesaw and search for the concepts that you're teaching for that particular unit, there are some activities that you could easily pull over. And just so you could focus on the concept and still kind of help cement what they were learning for that particular unit. The actual videos themselves are like 15 minutes at the most. I would even recommend, I know, speaking from experience last year, I wondered about how many of my students were actually looking at the videos. And so I would suggest maybe pulling in 1 or 2 a week and going over those videos with your students. Or another thing that they could do is, you could maybe assign that as an activity as well. And even if they've watched it once, I think that especially with some of our students that are struggling with reading, or those who have EL, those EL students, watching that video more than once, I think would be beneficial. And other suggested technology that you could use, MobiMax. I have seen the PD for MobiMax, and there are some things that I think would be great that would tie in with CR success. But there's also Mastery Connect, Screencastify. That's what I use to do the videos that I made. Then there's Pear Deck, Flipgrid, Epic, and of course Seesaw. And let's see, that's basically all that we included for phonics. So that's about all I have.
There's a question.
Okay.
Mindy wants to know, do we need to add all the videos to our Seesaw with their work? Do these videos need to be added to their Seesaws? I don't believe so.
No, I don't. They will be out in the same location with
Right.
all of the other videos.
Okay.
So
All
they're
right, this is Mindy. We've been confused about that because we didn't know if the kids were supposed to go like they did in the spring to get their homework and stuff, and then we were just putting their work online for them to do with the video. We didn't put the videos, so I just wanted to make that clarified that we didn't have to put the videos on Seesaw, so they can go still. So I need to show my parents that tonight to make sure they understand where they're going. Perfect.
right. Yes.
Perfect. Thank you.
Because they're just as easy to access from the district website. It would just kind of be doubling your work, really, or just causing you more work.
Add, Angie, is if you do, then the students are able to do it on their own. Like we have some who are being sent
Oh,
to childcare during the day and they have to access it completely on their own. So if you do add the videos to it, then it's a real one-stop shop for the child where they can just go in their Seesaw, watch the video, complete the activity right with it.
And
I was just worried. I didn't know how much capacity Seesaw has, that if everybody's downloading that into Seesaw, that we could crash their system, and then where are we at?
yeah.
I know that
happened in the spring and we didn't have any problems.
yeah,
Okay,
that's how
perfect.
that would be certainly one way. And I do know that we had a couple of questions, like with the EL videos. These are not just for EL kids. They can be for anybody who has low language and just needs help with vocabulary. They could be for anybody to rewatch, but I would advise having them watch them before they come to your class. You know, they're really made to be at home watching, you know, that's what they're there for, so they can rewatch them. A lot of times I plug the story back in again so that they can watch it again in a different way. So these are they're designed to be watched before they come to your classroom, the EL videos, or after even, so that they can get the exposure again. But they're not designed just for EL kids. They're designed for any low language kid that you might have, a SPED kid, anybody like that. So it's just another opportunity for them to hear the words or the vocabulary or what you guys are already saying or what we've already said, just to clarify that.
I know when we actually go into phase 2, I plan on still using those videos in a center, because I just think some kids need to hear it multiple times. We know when we teach it in the classroom and we're trying to teach it on the rug or whatever, you know, we lose half of our kids each time because it's just too hard for them. And so this is just a way that they can, you know, it's less stress for them. They can watch it individually on their iPad and watch it as many times as they need to. That was all. Any more questions? So I guess we can move on to social studies.
Hey, on your social studies tab, these are ones that me and Sam have been working on too. And we did integrate some of the social studies in with ReadyGen, and we did that as journal writing activities. And so what you will see is when on the ones that we integrated, let me see if I can find one that's integrated. It's going to say right here that it's integrated with the ReadyGen lesson with the journal writing activity that day. So if you look on the video that day, we did something for social studies that day in your ReadyGen lesson. And we're going to try and at least continue to do that with at least one social study lesson a week that'll be tied into that. Then also the ones that aren't integrated, they are just following the CDMs, and we also followed the social studies books that we have in our classrooms, and so it's teaching the lessons that were suggested to teach during the CDMs for that time. I don't have any Seesaw activities built for these yet because me and Sam were trying to play catch up on putting these in here because we weren't sure until just recently how we were supposed to do that, because we thought we were going to just be integrating these with our journal writing activities and didn't realize we were going to have so many to do. So of course, the only thing that is really required for your scholars is the video itself. So you can feel free to go in there and make your own Seesaw activities. And then I will try and share when I get a chance to make some. So does anybody have any questions about that? Okay, and then I guess we can move on to science. And I'm not sure who was doing science in our group.
That would be me, Miss Sample.
Okay.
Hi. For those of you who don't know, my name is Miss Sample, Kira Sample. I am the Rainforest Science Lab teacher at Williams Science Fine Arts Magnet. I will be working with the first grade team at our school for remote learning this semester or this school year, and I'm really excited. Science is kind of along the same line of social studies, I just actually started on Monday with science stuff. The first two are grade level, district level wide for elementary school students by Lindsay Noonan. And then you'll see that the next two are actually the same lesson. So obviously Mystery Science is our district-wide science platform, and it is like, it's incredible. It is a lot of information and instructions, and so it walks students through a lot of really great things to do with the standard or the activity that they're doing. And so it's actually the one activity on Mystery Science is split into 2 different days. And so I have already uploaded that onto Seesaw. And so there's the printout form, there's the video linked, there's instructions on that for the students that you guys can just push out through Seesaw. And then I've also created a pair deck that you could use as either just to touch base on their understanding or even as an exit ticket, because it does kind of touch base on some of that DOK or that more like deeper level understanding of different aspects of shadows. And then I've also included it's a transcript of the Mystery Science video in Spanish. And I'm sorry, I've lost internet, so I'm on my phone, so the screen's really tiny, and I'm trying to make sure that I cover everything. I've also included the different materials that are going to be required to participate in the activity. And then my intention, without the internet problems I'm experiencing, would be to add another pair deck that completes the same activity that Mystery Science offers without students having to print out the formatted like activity for like at home. So trying to play catch up on that, but really excited to be helping out with the science curriculum. Obviously working in the Science Fine Arts Magnet School, science is something I'm extremely excited about in the first place. So hopefully we'll have more of that stuff out there really soon. And that's kind of it, because I'm sure many of you are experienced with Mystery Science other than that. So unless there's any questions, so.
Anley, you're muted.
Okay, then we'll go back to our learning intentions today was that we were going to learn about the video teacher planning template and how to use it to plan instruction. And you're successful if you can locate the document for use, and we showed you how to get there. Use the video template to locate videos and materials for all subjects, and determine the next steps in planning instruction for your school year. So this would be something that you could take back to your first grade team and, like I said, make a copy of it and decide how you guys are going to utilize it at your school. Then of course, now I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and then we can answer any questions if you guys have any questions for us.
It looks like there's a question about flip charts that are used in the videos. Will they be provided to everybody to use and reference back during our 30-minute meeting with the kids, the Zoom meetings? So that's a question that was in the chat.
I really like that idea. It was something that I was hoping that we would start sharing and be able to do in the spring, and then it never really panned out, and now I don't know that it will happen for us as we've got the 2 who've moved on. We can reach out, we can try, but we're all kind of feeling that pressure right now, like, oh my gosh.
Well, I know another thing that was talked about too is it's figuring out a way to share them without them being changed. That's for the ones that have already been created. Is we have done some talking with Travis True and Gail about saving those, and we're just trying to figure out a way to do that without them being able to be changed or manipulated, because once you share them out, then anybody can change them, and then we lose the original record. So I think it can be done, but I know that we did talk about doing that with the CR Success videos anyway.
Does anybody have any more questions?
Somebody suggested that you put a copy of them in Google folder and share the folder with all the first grade TPS teachers. So that was an idea. I'm so not tech savvy that I am absolutely not a good one to even suggest anything to.
I know I'm not either, and that I know that was talked about because we've had people requesting those. So it may just be someone taking the time to move them all over because I think everybody's so pressed for time right now.
Yeah, it's 30 lessons that we've done for us, and so it goes up to November. We have lesson videos to November, and as far as us right now taking the time to download them all, I don't want to say no, but I kind of want to say no.
It's just it's an unbelievable amount of time to create them.
That is an understatement, especially for those of us who are slow.
Yeah.
Like,
you know, I think as we move forward and when we move into phase 2, that's probably going to be something that we can look at putting out there and sharing with you guys, having those flip charts and stuff. Because right now what is required is the video for your kids. And I know it would be ideal to have those flip charts right now, but you know, we're trying to get our classrooms together too. So I know that it's something that we're going to look at and try to put that information out there as soon as possible for you guys. But we would like a little time to get our classroom set up too.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to create seesaw activities, but I have never even created an activity in seesaw. I always pull the ones that are out there. So once I do that, I am more than happy to share with anyone. It's just that time right now. All these PDs we're having to do, and it's a ton of extra work.
And so if you guys don't have any more questions, I know you have to get ready and prepare for your parent meeting tonight. So you guys are free to leave whenever you want to leave. We appreciate you coming in, and we hope that you use some of the stuff that we put out there for you. But the only thing we wanted you to know is the only thing that is really required for you is those videos that you push out to your kids each day.
bye, guys. If you have any questions or you need us, we left our information for you.
I have to giggle because I wasn't expecting to have to speak, but I'm really glad I got to because I'm really excited to be helping with science. Of course, I'm on my phone. It's just, it's such a mess.
I was thankful you spoke up because I was like, gosh, I didn't even think of science.
Yeah, they just, and I don't know, I'm pretty sure it's just similar to the social studies where it was like, they didn't really find out until super recent on what they were supposed to do with it. So Lindsay Noonan reached out to some of us science teachers that are science pretty much all the time until this year. And we got the opportunity to do that. So I'm really excited. I know there's still some different factors being sorted out right now, but I'm really excited to get rolling on it, having something more productive to do. So, but I also have to catch up on all the ELA and all the math and all that stuff, because I was a first year teacher last year, so this will be my first year of like an actual classroom. It'll be fun. I'm excited. But, well, unless there's any questions on science, then I will go ahead and go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Have a good
guys, I know you guys have to get to your meetings too, because I've got to go get my PowerPoint ready to present for my parents. So I wish all of you a fantastic time today with your parent meetings. And thank you so much for being a wonderful team. I am so much enjoying working with each of you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks. Bye.
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 Bye.